Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The first alien ship appeared above Earth without warning. It did not arrive with fire or explosions. It simply appeared. One moment, the night sky above the Pacific Ocean was empty. The next moment, a massive triangular silhouette blocked the stars. Satellites detected it instantly. Military radars across the world began screaming with alerts. Within minutes, every space agency and defense network on Earth was watching the same terrifying image. A fleet was arriving. One ship became 10. 10 became 50. And then the sky filled with hundreds of enormous alien vessels, sliding silently out of glowing portals. The ships were enormous, each one larger than the largest aircraft carrier humanity had ever built. Cities below began to panic. Governments declared emergency alerts. Fighter jets scrambled from bases across the world. Missile systems powered up. But the alien ships did not attack. They simply waited. High above Earth's atmosphere, the fleet formed a perfect circle around the planet, like hunters surrounding prey. In orbit above Earth, aboard the human defense station Sentinel-1, Captain Daniel Reyes stared at the tactical display. He had seen many things in his 22 years in the United Earth Defense Fleet. Pirates, rebel colonies, asteroid mining disasters. But he had never seen anything like this. Fleet count confirmed, the operations officer said quietly. 412 ships. Reyes leaned back slowly. 400, he repeated. His voice remained calm, but everyone on the bridge could feel the weight of the number. Humanity had only 32 combat ships in orbit, and most of them were small. The alien fleet could crush Earth in minutes. Any transmissions? Reyes asked. Yes, Captain. The communications officer turned. They're broadcasting on every frequency we have. A strange symbol appeared on the screen. Then the symbol translated itself automatically. The message was short. Cold. Simple. Surrender your planet. Silence filled the bridge. One of the younger crew members whispered. That's it. Reyes nodded slowly. That's it. No negotiation. No diplomacy. Just surrender. The captain stood and walked closer to the large viewing window. Far away in the darkness, the alien ships looked like cold stars surrounding Earth. He had always wondered what first contact with aliens would be like. He had imagined scientists, explorers, maybe even peaceful visitors. Not conquerors. Captain, the communications officer said again. They're sending a second message. The screen flickered. New words appeared. You have 1 hour. The room felt colder. 1 hour to decide the fate of the entire planet. Reyes crossed his arms. Well, he said quietly. That's rude. A few crew members chuckled nervously. It helped. Humans had a strange habit. When things became terrifying, they joked. On the main screen, a new transmission appeared. This one was different. Instead of text, a holographic image formed. An alien face appeared. Tall, thin, with pale blue skin and long glowing eyes. The creature wore armor made of dark metal plates. Behind it stood a massive command chamber filled with alien officers. The alien spoke. Its voice was deep and calm. We are the Corthan Dominion. We have conquered 73 civilizations. You will become the 74th. No anger. No hatred. Just certainty. Captain Reyes tilted his head. 73, he said. That's a lot of paperwork. The alien paused. It clearly had not expected humor. Reyes continued. I assume this is the part where you explain how resistance is pointless. The alien commander nodded slightly. Yes. Our fleet is superior. Your technology is primitive. Your species has no chance of victory. Reyes shrugged. Probably true. The alien officers behind their commander exchanged confused looks. Humans were not responding the way conquered species usually did. The alien leaned forward slightly. You accept defeat. Reyes smiled. Oh no. He shook his head. Humans just like hearing the odds before we ignore them. Across Earth, billions of people were watching the same broadcast. Schools, homes, military bases, hospitals, everyone. Humanity had just met its first alien empire. And it was an invasion fleet. Reyes looked at the alien commander again. You said you conquered 73 species. Yes. How many of them fought back? The alien blinked. Few. Reyes nodded slowly. Then I guess this will be a new experience for you. The alien's eyes narrowed slightly. You cannot win. Probably. Reyes folded his hands behind his back. But here's the thing about humans. We're very bad at surrendering. The alien commander signaled something. A display appeared showing the alien fleet. Hundreds of warships. Weapons glowing. All resistance will result in extinction, the alien warned. Your planet will be sterilized. Reyes looked at the screen thoughtfully. Then he asked a strange question. How long have you been watching us? The alien hesitated. Several decades. Reyes nodded. Then you already know something important. The alien remained silent. Reyes smiled. Humans are stubborn. Behind him, one of the bridge officers whispered. Captain, we can't win. Reyes glanced back. I know. But winning isn't always the goal. The officer frowned. Then what is? Reyes looked out the window again. At this point, he smiled slightly, making them regret coming here. The alien commander spoke again. Your time is nearly finished. Choose surrender. Reyes stepped closer to the camera. Let me ask you something. What? You said you conquered 73 species. Yes. Reyes nodded. Then you probably think you understand how civilizations behave. The alien said nothing. Reyes' smile grew slightly wider. But you've never fought humans before. Around Earth, something unexpected began to happen. Every military base activated. Every satellite turned toward the alien fleet. Civilian ships began moving. Mining stations powered their engines. Cargo haulers adjusted course. Thousands of human vessels began gathering in orbit. They were not warships. They were barely armed. But they came anyway. Farmers, traders, engineers, miners. One by one, they joined the defense line. The alien sensors detected it. Thousands of small human ships forming a loose wall around Earth. The alien commander watched the display. Confusion spread across his face. These vessels are not combat capable. Reyes nodded. Nope. Then why are they here? Reyes looked straight at him. Because this is their home. The 1-hour timer reached 0. The alien commander spoke coldly. Your answer. Captain Daniel Reyes straightened his uniform. Then he said the word that would be remembered for centuries. Earth does not surrender. The alien fleet powered its weapons. And the war for humanity began. The alien fleet fired first. A line of brilliant white beams slashed across space. 3 human defense satellites vanished instantly. The explosions lit the darkness above Earth. Inside Sentinel-1, warning alarms screamed. Shields collapsing. Multiple impacts. Defense grid down 20%. Captain Daniel Reyes remained perfectly calm. Return fire. The station's rail cannons thundered. Metal slugs the size of cars launched into space at terrifying speed. They struck the nearest alien ship. The impact barely scratched it. The alien hull absorbed the damage. The Corthan commander watched with quiet confidence. "Primitive weapons," he said. Then his fleet fired again. More human defenses vanished. Orbital stations exploded. Fragments drifted through space. But something strange began happening. The alien targeting systems started to struggle. Thousands of small human ships were moving everywhere. Cargo haulers, mining rigs, shuttlecraft, civilian transports. None of them were powerful, but they were everywhere. They moved unpredictably. They blocked firing angles. They forced the alien fleet to constantly adjust targeting. The Corthan commander frowned. "Why do they continue approaching?" One of his officers answered. "They appear to be ramming." The commander stared. Ramming. On the human side, the communications channel was chaos. Civilian pilots shouted. "Mining ship Atlas ready." Freighter Golden Star joining defense. Fuel hauler reporting. Captain Reyes listened. Thousands of voices. Terrified. Determined. Brave. "Captain," his tactical officer whispered. "They're going to die." Reyes nodded. "Yes." He opened the fleet broadcast. His voice reached every human ship. "Listen up." The noise quieted. "We can't beat them in a straight fight." Everyone already knew that. But humans have something they don't. He paused. Creativity. The alien fleet fired again. Another human cruiser vanished. But then something unexpected happened. A mining ship accelerated straight toward an alien destroyer. Its engines overloaded. The pilot shouted one last message. "For Earth." The ship slammed into the alien hull. The explosion was massive. For the first time, an alien ship lost power. Not destroyed, but damaged. The Corthan commander stood up slowly. That vessel sacrificed itself. His officer nodded. "Yes." The commander stared at the human fleet. "Why?" No one answered. Because the answer was something the Dominion had never understood. Humans did not always fight to win. Sometimes they fought because giving up was worse. Captain Reyes watched the explosion. He closed his eyes for a moment. Then he opened them again. "Phase 2, he said quietly. The bridge crew looked confused. "Phase 2. Reyes smiled slightly. "Time to get clever." Thousands of small drones launched from human ships. Mining drones. Repair drones. Construction bots. At first, the aliens ignored them. They were tiny. Harmless. Then the drones began attaching themselves to alien hulls. Hundreds of them. Thousands. The alien sensors suddenly screamed. Energy spikes detected. The drones detonated. Not powerful individually, but together. Thousands of explosions erupted across alien armor. Shield systems overloaded. 3 alien ships lost their shields entirely. Human railguns fired instantly. This time the projectiles punched through. 1 alien cruiser exploded. The first true kill. Silence filled the alien command chamber. The Corthan commander stared at the screen. A primitive species destroyed one of our ships. His officers looked uneasy. The commander spoke quietly. Interesting. Back on Sentinel-1, cheering erupted. But Reyes raised his hand. Don't celebrate yet. The alien fleet was enormous. One ship lost meant nothing. But then the alien commander gave a new order. Advance. The entire alien fleet began moving toward Earth. Hundreds of warships. Weapons glowing. If they reached the atmosphere, the war would end. Reyes looked at the tactical map. Then he saw something. A tiny idea. A dangerous one. He turned to his navigation officer. How many asteroids are near the moon? The officer blinked. Hundreds. Reyes smiled slowly. Perfect. 20 minutes later, thousands of human ships moved toward the asteroid belt near the moon. The alien fleet followed. Confused but curious. The Corthan commander watched. They are retreating. One officer nodded. They appear desperate. The commander smiled. Yes. Then something strange happened. The human ship stopped, and the asteroids began moving. Mining lasers activated. Thrusters attached to rocks fired. Hundreds of asteroids accelerated toward the alien fleet, each one the size of a skyscraper. The alien commander's eyes widened. A gravitational trap. Asteroids slammed into the alien formation. Shields flared. Ships collided with debris. Navigation systems struggled. Chaos spread through the Dominion fleet. Captain Reyes watched the battlefield. Now, human ships attacked from every direction. Railguns, missiles, drone swarms, asteroids, improvised weapons. Nothing about the battle was organized. Nothing about it was predictable. And that was the problem. The Corthan fleet had fought 73 civilizations. All of them followed patterns, strategies, predictable tactics. Humans did not. The alien commander slowly began to understand. These creatures, he stared at the chaotic battlefield, are insane. And the war was only beginning. The battlefield above Earth had become chaos. Asteroids drifted everywhere. Broken ships burned in the darkness. Explosions flashed constantly across space. The alien fleet was still stronger, still larger, still more advanced. But they were no longer comfortable. They had expected surrender. Instead, they had found something else. Resistance. Relentless, unpredictable resistance. Inside the alien flagship, the Corthan commander studied the tactical display. His fleet had lost 7 ships. 7. It was not a devastating loss, but it was shocking. 73 civilizations had faced the Dominion before. Most surrendered immediately. The few who resisted fought carefully, strategically, predictably. Humans did none of those things. They used cargo ships as weapons. They turned mining tools into bombs. They redirected asteroids like artillery shells. Nothing about their tactics followed normal military logic. The commander slowly leaned back. These humans, he paused, are dangerous. One of his officers looked surprised. Commander. The Corthan commander pointed to the screen. Look at them. Thousands of small ships still surrounded Earth. Many were damaged. Some were barely operational. But they stayed. They refused to retreat. Why? The officer asked quietly. The commander spoke slowly. Because they believe this planet is worth dying for. On the human side, the situation was desperate. Captain Daniel Reyes watched the battle from Sentinel-1. Human losses were enormous. Half the orbital defense network was gone. Several major stations had been destroyed. Hundreds of civilian ships had been lost. But the alien fleet had slowed. That had been the goal. Not victory. Time for something else. Captain, the communications officer said suddenly. We're receiving a signal from Earth. Reyes turned. From who? The officer smiled. Everyone. The screen filled with faces. Millions of them. Scientists, engineers, military officers, civilian volunteers. Across the entire planet, humanity had been working, building, preparing, and now they were ready. Ray stared at the data. Then he laughed softly. That's insane. The engineer on the screen nodded proudly. Yes, that's the point. Far above Earth, something began to move. At first, the alien fleet did not notice. It looked like a small satellite leaving orbit. Then another. Then another. Thousands of objects rose from the atmosphere. The Corthan sensors scanned them. Commander, an officer said. They appear to be mirrors. The commander frowned. Mirrors. Captain Reyes activated the broadcast. His voice echoed across human ships. All right, everyone. Time for the final trick. Thousands of satellites unfolded huge reflective panels. Gigantic mirrors built in secret over the last hour. They aligned with perfect precision and pointed toward one location. The sun. The Corthan commander suddenly understood. His eyes widened. Shields to maximum. But it was too late. The mirrors reflected massive amounts of solar energy. Thousands of beams of concentrated sunlight merged into one enormous column of power. A weapon built from a star. The beam struck the alien flagship. The shield screamed under the pressure. Temperature levels spiked. Energy systems overloaded. Even advanced alien technology struggled against the raw power of a star. On Sentinel-1, the human crew watched the impossible weapon fire. A solar cannon, built in less than an hour, using satellites, mirrors, and desperate creativity. The beam intensified. The alien flagship's shields finally collapsed. The hull cracked. Explosions rippled across the enormous vessel. The Corthan commander stood silently as alarms screamed around him. He had conquered 73 civilizations. But he had never faced anything like this. A species that built weapons from sunlight. A species that used cargo ships as missiles. A species that refused to surrender even when defeat was certain. He whispered quietly, "Humans." The flagship exploded. The shockwave rolled through the alien fleet. For a moment, the battlefield became silent. Without their command ship, the Dominion formation broke. Several alien ships retreated immediately. Others hesitated. Human ships surged forward again. Damaged, outnumbered, but fearless. The remaining alien commanders made their decision. Retreat. One by one, alien vessels turned away. Jump portals opened across space. The enormous fleet began disappearing. Within minutes, the sky above Earth was empty again. The war was over. Inside Sentinel-1, no one spoke for several seconds. Then someone whispered, "They're leaving." The bridge erupted with cheering. People hugged. Some cried. Captain Reyes simply sat down slowly. Exhaustion finally caught him. His tactical officer stared at the empty screen. "We actually did it." Reyes shook his head. "No. We survived." Hours later, A final alien transmission arrived. Not a threat. Not a demand. A message. The Korthan Dominion had sent it before their fleet jumped away. The message contained only one sentence. Humanity is not worth conquering. Ray smiled when he read it. That might be the nicest insult we've ever received. Across Earth, celebrations filled the streets. The planet had survived its first alien invasion. Not because humans were stronger. Not because they had better technology. But because humans refused to give up. They adapted. They improvised. They fought in ways no enemy could predict. Far away in deep space, the surviving Korthan fleet regrouped. The new commander spoke quietly to his officers. Record this carefully. The officers listened. If you encounter humans again. He paused. Do not attack. One officer asked why. The commander answered simply. Because they turned the entire universe into a weapon. And from that day forward, the galaxy remembered a new rule. You could invade many worlds. You could conquer many species. But there was one civilization you should never try to defeat. Humanity. Because humans did not surrender. Humans adapted. Humans endured. And if necessary, humans turned the sun itself into a weapon. The end.